So the first step in solving the Rubik's Cube using the Petrus method is to have a 2x2x2 block like this. So before we start this tutorial, when I was learning the Petrus method first, I had a great trouble in understanding the concepts. So if you are interested, here's the scramble for you guys with white on top, green facing you and red towards your white. Alright, so once you have done with the scramble, then your cube should probably look like this. So as I already said, the first step in the Petrus method is to make a 2x2x2 block that goes over these two spots, and that consists of 3 centers and 1 corner piece. So in order to get that 2x2 block, we have to make sure that we bring 4 pieces along with their colors. So in this case, we have already a pair along with 1 corner piece and 1 edge piece. As soon as we found this piece, what we are going to do is that we are going to put this into the spot where it belongs to. So for this case, this would belongs to over here. So we can do a U2 flick such that it belongs over here. So once you have done with this F12 pair or this block over here, our next step is to fill with these 2 edges such that they will be making a 2x2 block. And that edge piece is right towards its back. So all you have to do is to just bring this back and insert it over here. So we can just put it like this and M slice, U2 and M down. See that we have completed with half of the block. So for this case, I have the green edge at the back, so I'll bring this up and then insert it over here. Alright, so now that you have completed with your first 2x2x2 block, next we will be extending this 2x2x block with another F12 pair and another edge piece that would go over here, or the same one with this spot over here, such that it will extend over any one of the side and bring us with an 2x2x3 block like this. So for CFOP solvers, all you have to do is to bring one F12 pair that would match over here. So for this case, I already have a pair over here, so all I have to do is to make sure that this pair needs to go over here. Once it's done, next we'll be making sure that we also bring the white edge piece which belongs over here, such that we'll be completed with a 2x2x3 block. So for this case, I have the edge piece over here. Like always, we'll just insert it in this manner and see that we have completed with the 2x2x3 block. Alright, so now that we are completed with the 2x2x3 block, make sure that you bring this 2x2x3 block towards your opposite side, hold it like this, and make sure that you friend the opposite color to green, which is blue, facing you. So now comes the part in which I found it to be really difficult to understand in this part, but I'll be making this really clear for you guys. So in this case, we have the good edges and the bad edges. So the good edge is just an edge which is oriented. For example, this one right here is a good edge, cause it's already aligned with these 2 centerpieces, such that you can just do an U move in order to just align it. Let's suppose that this edge piece is over here, and I'm not sure whether this is in good edge
or in bad edge.
But keep in mind that in the Petrus method, you are allowed to do only U moves or F moves. Or in this case, when you are facing the block towards your left hand side, it would be only R and U moves. Alright, so before we are orienting all the bad edges, that is correcting all the bad edges in order to become a good edge, all you have to know is that there are 7 edges in which we are going to orient them. This 1, 2, 3 and 4.
This 1, 2, 3 and 4.
5, 6, 7.
5, 6, 7.
And also keep in mind the bad edges which are not oriented only will come in an even number. So no matter if you find this edge piece, because when we are finding whether these 6 edges right over here, 1, 2 and these 4 on top are whether good or bad, we'll come to know that whether this edge is also good or bad, because the bad edges will come only in an even numbers. Alright, so now moving on to this solve. So for this case, I have blue facing me, and in order to distinguish whether an edge is in bad or good, all you have to do is to just see through these 4 edges and check whether this color right here is on top of any of them. As you can see, for this case I have yellow, so no problem, and also yellow, no problem. But as you can see, this edge right over here is matching towards this color. So now we know that this isn't bad edge. And for quick experiment, we can check it over here. And this isn't flipped edge. And also this is pretty similar that the edges with the yellow color or the top color over here match towards this like this. For this case, we have yellow and yellow matching. So this one isn't good edge. So all you have to find is that whether the yellow will match over here. In this case it's matching, but this edge is an bad edge, cause when we turn this up, then this edge is an bad edge cause the yellow is not connected towards the yellow color right over here. So now we have assumed all our 7 edges, and now we know that there are 2 edges of bad ones. Alright, so once you have assumed all your bad edges, the next step is to make sure that you hold the cube towards your left hand side, that is turned like this. Make sure that the color which you faced earlier is towards your right hand side. And now all you have to do is to make sure that you place any one of the pair of the bad edges, which are these 2 ones, in this spot and this spot. So for this case I have already this one in its right spot, and I have to bring this one right here, the bad edge, towards this spot. So we can do something like this. Bring this and align it back over here. So now that we have 2 bad edges, we are going to do a simple algorithm, that is F prime U F. And as you can see, when we have done with these 2 pieces, it has now been oriented, but keep in mind that it should be done only with an pair of bad edges. But you may ask something like this:
Yo bro, why should I just orient all the edges? Now that I have completed with my 2x2x3 block, I could just move on to the F12 and complete the whole cube as I would do in a C4 way.
The thing in the Petrus method is that when you are orienting all the edges, then after completing the F12, in this case we are already done, you will be resulted with an cross OLL. So that would make us really easy to proceed on our last layer. So in this case I have this one and this OLL. But many times once you have done with all the orientation of all the good and bad edges, next you have to do the F12 in a 2-gen manner. Remember watching Cubert's video where he told about 2-gen? That would only consist of R or U moves, which has only 2 moves. So that's the meaning, like 2-gen. So yeah, once you have completed with all the orientations, you have to complete the F12 in a 2-gen manner. Otherwise this cross will be damaged. For this case I have the edge over here, but remember only R and U moves. So I have an edge piece over here and the edge is over here, so I could just put them like that and insert it. And I have these 2, no, and I have this one and this one right here, so I could just bring this out, bring this in like that and pair them up, and see that we have the cross ready, and with this OLL too. So yeah, that's it for the tutorial guys, and if you have any queries or questions about the Petrus method, you can definitely leave in the comments. And I know that first introducing about the good and bad edges might be like really difficult to understand at first. So if you have any queries still after watching this tutorial fully, then make sure that you leave it in the comments below. And you found this tutorial to be really helpful, then give it a like, and found it really helpful and want to support this channel, then consider subscribing. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Until then, keep cubing. Bye.